Hi there, I'm Katja.
Check it out. I am the ultimate badass. Yeah. State is a badass art. You do not want to fuck with me.
Hey, thanks for the host, thanks for the raid. Old Classic Gamer, yeah, you changed your name. Why? I am great. Let's start one of my favorite games of all time. I love this song. There's a little upbeat part that I don't really like, but the rest is just incredible. They were the kings. Sierra was the thing. They were PC gaming. Yeah. They made much more than the King Quest and the Space Quest and the Laser Suit Larrys. And this, they made much more than point-and-click adventure game. It seems they are remembered only for the point-and-click adventures. This little part here is but then afterward it goes real smooth. I'm gonna I'm gonna just start the intro. There's gonna be a credits afterwards, so I'm talking a little bit over the credits. But yeah, Gabriel Knight. I love this game. It's definitely one of my favorite point-and-click adventures. And you'll see this is the CD-ROM version, the Windows version. There's even a 20th anniversary edition that came out. That's really not that great for multiple reasons. Most importantly is the voice acting, which is not the same as the original cast. In this game, you have people like, and they're not like just little cameos here and there. You've got Mark Hamill, Tim Curry is playing Gabriel Knight, You've got Michael Dorn, which is from Star Trek Next Generation, Worf. And you've got a couple of other named Jim Cummings, which made like a bunch. I checked his bio on IMDb. He made every voices of 80s, 90s cartoons, like DuckTales, Tailspin, like name it, he did it. So, and there's no little intro like this on the floppy version, and I thought that the floppy version came before the CD-ROM, but they came out at the same time. I played the original version, which was not voiced, and I completely fell in love with it. Actually, Michael Dorn, Lila Jones, she's not really known, I think. There's a couple of other known people. So yeah, the first time I saw this game was I just saw somebody play, and it was like 5 or 10 seconds, and I knew I wanted that game. I just fell in love with the style of it. Hey Igor! Come for some point in the classic gaming. Okay, I'm gonna jump into the game now. I'll finish my story later. No, I don't think so. Oh, can I touch this right now? Yeah, let's put this there. Day 1. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and dark and black, as was her scented skin.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Sure. Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps. Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
And that's how it all starts. I want to speak like right here. Say. They did laser suit. Yeah, no, they didn't. Really. This is adult. This is adult. This is definitely adult. The second one, a little less so, but still. Third one is more like a normal game, a more Sierra game. Like I think for everyone, I would say E for everyone. This, I guess it's not mature. It's not like 18 plus, but it's a mature story. It's like I was like 12, 13 when this came out, and so I appreciated it, but I don't think many would have at that age. And even I appreciated more as time came on, and as I progressed through the game, because this game is like it's like a book. It's like a historic book. You learn about New Orleans, you learn about voodoo, and it's really incredible. I went to New Orleans. It's a great place. It was 3 games for that, which was for the... Yes, I thought he was about to say there's 3 games in the Gabriel Knight series. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff here. Let's look at this.
3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky, offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
So I gotta know exactly what I'm doing here, so I will look at stuff that I know is interesting. I might keep the
That
voice...
shelf holds used copies of the Dime Stripe series. Secrets of unsolved ancient UFO mysteries and such. They just leap out the door.
That's a joke. Most people don't like her, so if you don't, please tell me, and I might eventually switch her off, because she talks slowly. She weirdly enough won a prize for that performance. I don't remember what it was, but it's known. It is known. So in this game, you pick up points by just picking up the...
Gabriel sent to
I have to pick it up. The paper, taking my coffee.
Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article
Yeah, you get...
about the
Yeah, I might
murders.
just...
Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings.
Yeah, yeah, no, she's not. It takes too long. I'll just remove it. At least I'll talk a little bit, because if I just play the game, I'll eventually not really talk much, because I know exactly what I'm... I mean, I haven't played this in at least 10 years, if not more, but back then I knew the game by heart, so we'll see. I did play the 20th Anniversary Edition, but it was different. It felt different. It didn't felt right. I would highly recommend you play this version. Mark Hamill, Michael Dorn, Tim Curry... even the music is better. I don't really like the new music, even the new art. And the characters are all in 3D, so it's a thing. Here you can see and this is the Windows version, the DOS, at least the first DOS version. This here was in 320 by 240, like the rest of everything except like this, like these things, this here, which is 640 by 480. This is all 640 by 480, as is my inventory when I will have an inventory. So let's have an inventory by picking up these things. Well, let's look at them first. There's a pair of tweezers on the counter. Grace has used them for book repair work. A magnifying glass is an handy item for reading old manuscripts, so we'll need those 2 things.
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem. I'm going to take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
That little clicking you'll hear throughout this game, unfortunately, is part of the game. As I know it, is always been there. I checked like a bunch of Let's Play a couple of weeks ago just to check, and every version has it. It's just there. And my assumption is, like, I did a little bit of audio when I started streaming and doing like videos, is the clipping. I don't know much about clipping, but I think that the original audio clipped, and that's why it does that. You'll notice it'll do it like when they talk a little too loud, maybe it just clips a little bit and does that click, and that may be the reason they couldn't reuse the original audio, because they said that they lost the original tape, but I would bet that it I would rather say that they lost it rather than say, oh no, the original audio is super bad. We can't use that for the new version. It would sound terrible. So yeah, let's talk to. We didn't check this. I skipped it. Time is Picayune, date June 28, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel will scan the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead, proceed with caution, and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
So I'm starting a new book right now. I'm starting a new book on murders in New Orleans. And I have a friend that works at the police station. What's his name? He's played by Mark Hamill. So let's talk to her. And he's helping me.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
So for now, there's no like the plot. The objective for myself is just to take information about voodoo and voodoo murders to write a book.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
When it changes color like that, I think it means that it's done. No, it's not done. You have to click
Do you
it
know
to
anything
see
else?
I've told you all I know.
to see if there's
What do
anything
you
else.
know about...
You won't get far questioning me about it, Sherlock.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Oh, and these portraits are also in higher resolution in the CD-ROM version.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
And that's the version that's sold on GOG, you know. How come we haven't gone out yet?
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me. How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me anything at all.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it, and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head.
Oh yeah, and I played the floppy version, so when I played the voiced version later, his voice, it took me a while to get used. Now I like it, but at first I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, listen to this.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, you know? Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
Something real life, well, we'll do that.
Just tell me anything at all.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even remember Japan myself. I was 3 when we came to the States.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years.
I think we skipped
Nothing.
Suit yourself.
So, messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Okie dokie. There's more when you want 'em.
You have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What does she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay. Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany. Like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Of course, that's important. Like hell, I'm gonna call Germany. Just reverse the charges, don't you? Can't you do that? I never called like... yeah, I called once overseas. I used a card, I think, a prepaid card or something. You can do request research.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I can't think of it.
Okay.
That's some of the ways you can finish chapters. Let's just... oops. Oh yeah, you can listen to every conversation.
What can you tell me about New York?
Well,
Crazy. First time I saw that, I was like, ah, I never use that anymore. But back then I used it. Because there's a lot of information there. If you want to know where you are, what you're doing, etc., etc. It's kind of important. Oh, it's pretty nice. And the fact that they log it and there's
What
the
can you
voice
tell
and
me
all,
about it?
like, it's really nice. I would have needed a notebook. Well, I mean, it's pretty much like every other point-and-click game. You do all the things, and eventually, it's not that hard. It's definitely not a hard game. Typewriter is beginning to accumulate.
Should I feel guilty? Nah.
I think you can try to write.
Writer's block.
I could explain this. Walk, look, pick up, open, ask questions like I did to her. This is just talk to someone. I'll do that on her. You'll see, just talks to her. Usually this does nothing really. They could have removed that, but it's fun. It's also in Space Quest 5 and maybe other games. Use and push. So pick up, use, push, open are usually like one. Is use englobes all these in most games, but at the moment I played this, I had played a couple of Space Quest game, and like 4 and 5, and like 5 had walk, look, smell, eat, and or 4 had that. So, and I liked having more than just use. So yeah, and even like Monkey Island has a lot of things. It's not just use. It's there's even open close, I think, push pull maybe, or that's Maniac mentioned. Anyways, let's open this. It's the fridge.
Gabriel, shut the refrigerator, please. I could smell it from here.
Women.
So this is New Orleans, so Mardi Gras and all that crap. This cabinet contains a few old prescription and personal hygiene stuff. Lots of hair product. Push, pull, open. Open this. For now, there's not much to do here, so I'm just gonna go and do things that are interesting. Well, that makes sense for him now. Now let's talk to her like this.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Did I ever tell you that you're actually quite attractive?
Be still, my heart.
Had any customers lately?
No. but I'm sure you have.
Oh. Checking for cobwebs. Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George's books, the mistake. It's a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion. The cash register contains about $20 in small bills and change. Pick up.
Gabriel, that's all the change money I have. Touch it, and you could kiss your hand goodbye.
Would I do that to you? I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, let's go out.
I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
Oh, didn't she talk about... I don't even have the police station on my map right now. What? That's interesting. So she said there was the historical voodoo. Because yeah, I can go here, I can go to the Jackson Square, I can go to Napoleon's house, I could even go to my grandma's house. But Gabriel and I would not go to his grandma's house. Right now we would go to the Historical Voodoo Museum.
Hi. Look around all you want.
Okay, thanks.
Don't touch anything. Oh yeah, one other thing about the 20th anniversary edition is the fact that they really closed off days. So day 1 is a bunch of things you have to do, and that's day 1. And then day 2 is a bunch of stuff you have to do, that's day 2. But this is more organic in the fact that there's things I could do right now that you have to do, like to end day 5 example. But I could do them right now if I wanted to. Let's look at stuff.
Dang. I've always wanted a skeleton with a bowl on its head.
On the table is a small coffin, so small in fact that it would only fit an infant.
Charming. I'm close enough to using a coffin as it... This coffin is so small. Interesting.
Cute, isn't it?
Adorable. Do you know anything about it?
Afraid not.
Don't you know anything?
So, how's the museum business?
I don't know. I don't normally work here.
Nope, you cannot get stuck in this game. You can die, but I don't think it's a big deal. But just save, everybody saves. So dying, I don't care about dying. Dying is never a problem. And you can't die at day 1. This game is just, you die like when there's really a reason for you to die. This is not Space Quiz. It's fun, and one of the first times that you can die, it's really like, what the fuck? Because I didn't know you could die in this game when I first played, and I was really taken aback. I was, oh yeah, fuck, you can die, holy shit, this is serious stuff now. I was really glad. Why am I saving? Talk to her.
Could I ask you a few questions?
I wouldn't be much help. You should talk to Dr. John, the owner. He'll be back tomorrow.
I see. Thank you. So, how's the museum business?
I don't know. I don't normally work here.
Okay. So she won't be any help.
Could I ask...
You should...
So...
Okay. Look at stuff. A very large, very formidable looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage. A striking portrait of a turbaned woman is on the back wall. Gabriel wonders who she might be. Oh, that's maybe... what's her name? we'll talk about her. A counter at the back displayed brochures and donation basket. It's a basket for donation to the free museum. The back wall display various items such as a gaudy shell necklace, a bandana that was once worn,
Nice bloodstain.
a wooden doll with horns.
Looks like Jack Nicholson.
What about this? An official voodoo wishing stump. Rub it and make a wish, a card says.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
Oh! Let's use it.
I wish I had $1 million.
Boom, done. Next.
I wish my voodoo book hits the bestseller lists.
You can bet it will.
I wish I had something better to
No,
rub
is
with
it?
this stupid
I don't really
stuff.
remember if his first book is that great.
I wish my voodoo...
Oh, okay.
He's got more hair than Mosley. Reminds me of a book critic for the New York Times. Reminds me of a book...
Okay. Nothing to do here. But there's a switch here. I think I can use it right now.
What does this switch do?
Hey, turn that off.
I mean it.
Dr. John told me never turn on that fan.
I can see why.
I hope they will let me turn it when John's there, because he really gets pissed off. Because once he does it, he doesn't really do it again. He might do that when John's there. I did save just before going here. I'm at 6 points. Did it give me a point for using that? 6 points. Nope.
I'll be gone now.
So long.
Well, bye. You weren't really helpful. Let's go to the Dixieland drugstore.
Hi. Uh-huh.
Doesn't look especially friendly. His business probably doesn't depend on walk-ins. Dixieland drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some of our, or all of which seem to be related to the practice of voodoo. Hey, leisure gaming? Voodoo and Hoodoo, the craft as revealed by traditional practitioners by Jim Askins. Available at Dixieland Drugstore and other fine stores. The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagniappe. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil or Master Gimblin oil with every purchase over $50. The ding 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 is for the St. John's Eve.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Root bags, curio boxes, magic candles, sold as curio only. We can guarantee results. I'm sure that's intentional.
Lodestone powder. 5-finger grass. Something tells me I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Cat bones.
And wouldn't want to.
What about this guy? The mask appears to be made from real crocodile head. Poster reads, Power will be yours when you use Papa Legba's Power Draining Incense and Master Power Oil. Buy some today. Oh, let's talk to the guy.
Mind if I ask you a few questions? Ask what you want, I'll answer what I want.
Hey, I'll answer what I want. Okay? Oh, this is just because it shows that this is a new thing. It's because I didn't even talk about this. So yeah, you really have to go through
Can you
this.
tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Done. Oh, I'm a big fan of Full Throttle. It's one of the first game I streamed on Twitch, even when I was doing YouTube at the time. I think it might only be on YouTube, that one. Yeah, Monkey Island. Play Sam & Max if you haven't. Play Maniac Mansion, Gabriel Knight. Those are like top tier point and click adventure games. Games that you can't really get stuck, are pretty forgivable, puzzles aren't like that crazy stupid, and really fun, and like top production games.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These are novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they're magic, it's not my concern, you know.
That's not my problem.
Are you telling me that you own a
Just
voodoo
selling
shop,
this.
but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça fait n'est pas affaire blanche.
What does that mean?
Means you should mind your own business, monsieur.
I talk French and I didn't even understand half of that. Blah, I understand, that's white. But yeah, he essentially said, mind your own business, cracker. I don't know if I'm gonna play that many cryo games. Is that Creole French? Oh yes, it was. He said, mind your own business, cracker. Yeah, exactly. Voodoo again?
Look, I'm researching voodoo for a book.
I don't have your answers, B. Do you want to buy something, monsieur?
I love this guy though. He's an asshole, but I love him.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabri Sancour.
What did you say?
Nothing, nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Cabri Sancour. I have no idea what that means, but eventually they say the word in French. Sang. This is corn. And Cabri, I don't know. Cabri. I don't know that. I don't know that. They'll eventually say it. I know what it is, but the ram has no color. No, that's like horns. It means something without horns. Even if I say that, you won't understand what it means, what it truly means. Let's talk about voodoo again. No. Voodoo
What do
murders.
you know about the voodoo murders?
He's gonna talk about the murders.
Monsieur, that has nothing to do with my shop.
I don't think he wants to talk about voodoo murders in a shop selling voodoo curiosities.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
murders?
Monsieur,
I think Tim Curry, as much as I love him, I think he went a little overboard sometimes. Like, he didn't really know how to deliver the interrogation lines. Like, you can tell me anything at all. Like, it's almost too sensual. Like,
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
the voodoo
Monsieur.
murders. Like, who does that? Yeah, exactly. Tim Curry, yep. This is Tim Curry. Who's voiced, let's talk about New Orleans.
What can you tell me about?
I've lived here all my life, me.
What can you tell me?
I'm a busy man, monsieur. I don't get out of my neighborhood much.
What can,
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you
Monsieur.
should sign up for some tour.
Yeah.
what can you tell me about New?
If you're not from around,
St. John's.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Do you know what that is, guys?
it's the
St.
biggest
John's
night
Eve?
of the year. Voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
That's the Saint Jean. We celebrate this a lot here. It's a French-Canadian tradition. I think it's even like it is Saint John's. It's a festival.
What did you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Not only did I hear you, but I even have a recording of it. And the fact that he records because he's using that for his book, so it makes sense. It's not like everybody's gonna record every conversation with everyone, but he's researching for a book, so of course he's gonna record what he says about voodoo murders. Even New Orleans, it's important for the book. It's all about the book. I love this game.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Maybe I should have started with that. Yeah, let's start with himself when we start conversation.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
Again.
Tell me about you. How did you get in?
What?
No, he doesn't want to. Bye-bye, you're an asshole. He doesn't really like people. I think we don't even have access to... Let's go back to St. John George's bookshop. Okay, day's done. Okay, day 2.
I knew
Come
you'd
on.
miss me.
No?
So I came back.
Really? I forgot you were gone.
Oh, okay. We talked to her about the new stuff that we learned.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. It must be a local custom. New Orleans love any excuse to celebrate.
The problem with the delivery of those lines, I think, and it's and I'm going on a tangent here, but it's like that in many games. Maybe older games, maybe in newer games they do something about that, because if the guy is reading his lines and he has all these all in a row, like,
Do you know anything?
I've told
well,
What do you know about the voodoo murder?
yeah.
you won't get...
What do you know about the voodoo murders? What can you tell me about New Orleans? What do you know about that? And eventually this will get, like, there will be much more. So repeating all these in a row makes them all sound exactly the same, but in a normal conversation it would sound like that. Nitpicking. Cabri
Do you know what Cabri sans corps means?
He has a good accent.
No. Sounds French, though.
Cabri sans corps.
What can you tell me?
I told...
Okay.
Do
Messages?
you have messages?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humphrey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel. Those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the voodoo murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
As a 12-year-old, I so wanted to identify as Gabriel Knight. I find him cool, but at the same time, I'm so not like him. Like, not at all. Like, he's a liar. He eventually gets more worthy, and this game does touch upon that. Like, he's bad at women. He's an asshole. He's a douchebag, essentially. He's a douchebag. And you start the game as Gabriel Knight, the douchebag. He is a jerk, exactly. He's a jerk. And with the voice, it's even worse. Without the voice, it was not so bad. But as I was playing the game, I was like, I'm fucking playing a jerk. Because this is not the first woman we'll encounter in the game. And he's like that with every woman. Yeah, exactly. But he is a bum. He gets older in the second game. He lives through a lot of shit in this game, so you'll understand that the why in the second game he's matured. This part of his life will fucking slap him, punch him in the face. Yeah, right now he's just a kid. He's just running around, doing his stuff.
Do you have more?
I've given...
Nope. Don't think there's any research to do. Hey, let's go see Mosley. Mosley, that's his name.
I've got some things I need to do.
Don't hurry back on my...
Got some things I need to do. Oh yeah, the music here is so weird. Oh, the guy that makes the music, Robert Holmes, I think. It's someone Holmes. And I heard him in an interview talk about like all the music he made for this game. And the music isn't... all the music isn't really particularly memorable. Well, a couple of tunes are if you're nostalgic about those things. But the main theme is really, really good. And there's a lot of version of the main themes. It's a MIDI adaptation, so you can literally play it how you want it, and it sounds great. The second and the third game also, the main theme of the second game is different from this one. It sounds a little bit like it, but when you hear it, it's like, oh no, that's not the same at all. But it has the same feeling. Like, the guy's a musical genius, I think. And the third game has an even like stronger theme. It's just incredible. I think it even like feels like Gabriel's character. Like I said, the guy's a fucking genius. This is Jim Cummings, I think. The desk surgeon looks like a poster boy for heart disease. 30 extra pounds between his armpits and his belt, and the complexion, the consistency of grey oatmeal. Great. Okay, there's not much interesting. What did he do about, in other words, a typical product of good southern cooking?
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know. Hey, it's a beignet guy.
Great, I'm starved.
The fact that he came in super fast is just because of all the timing issues with Sierra. A lot of older Sierra games have timing for a lot of stuff because you want your characters to move around, have some kind of not AI but like scripts.
Stay put, you.
Yeah.
Hey, grab me 3, would ya?
Sure.
So even if I move, or the speed of this guy is not the same as the overall speed of the rest of the game. I guess it's more linked to your computer and stuff. It's weird.
Thanks.
And some of the animations are fixed, so even if you put the speed here at maximum, like if I put at maximum, of course he's gonna run around like a... Well, it doesn't go so fast, but I don't really like going too fast. I don't really have to move around that much in this game, so let's talk to the guy.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do
I love
you
this
for?
little character here, especially Space.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What can you tell me?
I told you. I ain't got nothing to say about voodoo.
Voodoo.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
Of course.
Are you sure you can't give me the scoop on the voodoo murders case?
Hey, buddy. Do I look like the kind of lowlife that'd betray my sacred oath to this department?
I don't know. What would that kind of lowlife look like?
like hamburger meat if I got a hold of them. Kinda like what you're gonna look like in about 5 seconds.
Okay, sorry I asked. What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure. As it is, I'd rather stick behind this desk.
When I went to New Orleans, it was not Mardi Gras, and that was intentional. I just wanted to chill out in New Orleans, because I think Mardi Gras is pretty crazy.
What can you tell me?
Best food in the world. You can get it right here in New Orleans.
And it's...
Beignets, good Cajun coffee. Yep. Man can die happy in this city.
Indeed he can. It's really great. I would recommend anyone to go there. Yeah, exactly. And that happens all the time. We went there, I think it was in June or July or something. It wasn't in Mardi Gras. And it was crazy. It was just... It was like crazy, but at night, at least. We went to Bourbon Street and stuff, and all that part of the... Because it's like downtown New Orleans. That really everything happens. The rest of New Orleans is big. The rest of New Orleans is like big estates, and that has nothing to do with what we see in this game. Well, we see the map when the French Quarter. French Quarter is the place you want to be. It's like a whole like city inside a city kind of thing. People really talk with a big thick accent.
What can you tell?
Well, I love this city good as anybody, but I already gave you my opinion. Why don't you check out the Travel Bureau?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Bunch of crazies out there on St. John's Eve, that's what. We're busy all night.
Really? What kind of crazies?
Your usual howl at the mooners, I guess. They don't look no weirder than them that comes in during Mardi Gras. Never can tell, though.
What can you
I already told you, it's a busy night.
Do you know what Caprice encore means?
Can't say that I did.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Desk Sergeant Frick, why?
Frick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all. Tell me about yourself.
You see that front door?
Yeah?
Well, I watch people come in. See this book?
Yeah?
Well, I write people's names in it, see? People that bother me. Want me to put your name in this book?
I think not.
That's what I thought.
Tell me about...
I hate people who ask stupid questions.
Tell me about... I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at a crime scene. Sorry.
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the voodoo murders?
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
Come on, you can tell me.
Look, I know the paper's got everybody stirred up about these killings, but that don't make it public information. Back off.
So this is a new voodoo murder then?
Hey, I didn't say that. You'll read all about it in the papers tomorrow, I'm sure. Please. Look, buddy, you keep it up, and there'll be a crime scene right here. I told...
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah, I got something for you, all right? Soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
About the...
I told... Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's look at our inventory now. $20 gift certificate. tweezers and the magnifying glass. Envelope. Let's open. Opens the envelope. Photograph cannot be opened. One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo Murders crime scene photo. A graphic close-up of the victim. Gruesome. Like I said, this is a mature game. Ooh, and this, but the later it gets like really serious. The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then. And that's it. Oh, I can...
Does this mean anything to you?
Hey, where'd you get that?
Nowhere.
Well, you shouldn't have that. Put it away before I decide to keep it.
Yes, sir.
I didn't remember if you could show it then. What about this?
Does this mean anything to you?
It's a police academy graduation photo. What of it?
Just check.
Okay. So we need to find out the where's the crime scene, essentially. So I could check out my grandma, but I think I'll leave that for another day, which will be more, I think will fit more with the story. Like I said, I'll try to play the game, because I can talk to like a guy, the bartender here. There's no reason to do that right now. That's the kind of thing you would definitely do if it's your first time. So I need to find that out. If you go to Jackson Square, there's this policeman there, and that's the place. If there's one place I do remember like getting stuck in any game, is here. Like after talking to everyone, going to my grandma's house and stuff, I did not know what to do to end the day, to continue on to day 2. When I finished day 1, it's like I finished day 2, 3 like super fast because I had done a bunch of things here. Hey Dave, I was in New Orleans living on cruise the night before Mardi Gras started. It was crazy, really. I was there when it wasn't Mardi Gras, and I thought it was pretty crazy. So let's talk to this guy.
Anyone seen Joe?
Good day, officer.
Yeah, to you too. Keep moving.
Good.
Yeah.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
I should have noticed that. Thanks.
That's the narrator that says that. That's weird. So what you're supposed to understand, I guess, but they should have made it more clear. I think in the 20th anniversary edition it's a little better. You understand that you need to get that police radio.
Anyone see?
With that police radio, you'll know where the crime scene is. I enjoyed this game. Of course you enjoyed it. Like I said, this is the best point and click adventure game ever.
Thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
So this mime will try to mime everyone that comes near him. It gets pretty funny if you really let it go. When there's a younger woman, there's a like kind of a jock. But if you go near him, he'll follow you like that. But yeah, oh yeah, I can just go around, and just by going around and touching people, he'll follow them. Holy Holy shit, that's a glitch.
Well, I never. Leave me alone, you.
I never saw that.
Man.
Holy crap. I never saw that. Maybe it's because there was a lot of things going on at the same time.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hey, Cleverly Blonde, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I didn't.
Stop picking on me. I'll tell my...
Because since as soon as you touch someone, he just goes on doing something else. So I just figured it was just to be funny. Because I think you can talk to him.
Stop following me.
So I just thought it was there. I didn't think it was a puzzle. But I played this game back when puzzles were essentially inventory based or stuff like that. Like pretty relatively simple puzzle. There's a couple of puzzles in this game that are very original, like this one, and I think there's about 2 more that are not like use a thing or talk to a guy, just go someplace. I love all those Sierra titles. Great, you're at the right place. I love Sierra. Ah, god damn it. As soon as he follows somebody else, I'll have to let's go pick him up again. So that's annoying. Oh, can you dead end yourself at the very end? I guess. Don't spoil too much the game. We'll get there. Not tonight. So I have to be careful because just switching here I could just bump into a person, which is annoying. Okay, usually what I do is I go down here. But then I'll just bump in the policeman. Let's just save here with the mime. Okay.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want some of this?
But keep in mind that the first time I played this, I know this isn't that hard of a game, but I was like 12 or 13 and it was like my 3rd or 4th point and click game. And I think I never even finished one. That might be the first one I finished. This or maybe Monkey Island 1, but I kind of knew-ish what I was doing because I saw one of my friends play, so like he finished it like did he finish it in one go? Maybe not, but why do I want to save? I don't want to save. I don't want to save. Use. Let's pick up that bike. Woo, yeah.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South. Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the Country Club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 9-1.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey you, get away from that bike.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to save. Well, this will be essentially the end of the... oh, maybe not. But I'm close. There's not much else.
Homicide.
I think in the 20th anniversary they don't let you access your grandmother's house right now because there's really no reason to go there. Crime scene. Got to fight Mosley. Mosley, not Mosley. The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion. The animation of these cars when they move, when they go out. I don't know why they... Oh, they don't really look that great now, but back then it was like, whoa.
Huh? Night, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one, as you can see. Same MO and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that? Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly again. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Nah, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the case some more.
Thanks.
Yes, we like this car. The little animation, pseudo 3D. I was like, oh yeah. I noticed you took the even at my expense part of that. I have fun. Yeah, there was an asshole that came in, so I was like, okay. That was dumb of me. I opened the door to some asshole. It's my own fault. I'll help them, but all these pristine banks better be clean again. Hey! I never know how to spell your name, like Duke? Duke Live? Live? Duke. I'm gonna call you Duke. I can't believe you noticed that. Seems to be a pattern to lines in the sand. If there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined. I'm afraid to put, like, no spoilers. I don't think I put it, right? I said don't be a jerk or something. God damn. Don't be a fucking jerk. I did put no spoilers. Okay. Oh yeah, you can look at this, not like that. You might have to use the... first off, I'm going too fast. Yeah, you can give hints without giving spoilers, come on guys. If you don't know how, just don't do it though. I feel like if I was to get stuck in this, maybe the clock puzzle. Yeah. No, the clock puzzle I didn't have a problem with. I'll tell you why. All of these, I liked it. I liked it a lot. That's one of the reasons I bought the game. This here, with the, and even this, the design of this bar, I'm not joking, was part of, like I saw somebody play, I think it was in the bookstore, and I saw this and I was like, holy shit, this looks awesome. Push open, the style of it. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I also like to see the despair. I don't like to be in despair though. Especially not on stream. You will notice that I haven't really played, for now, a point-and-click adventure game that I haven't played before on stream. I haven't played like a game that I never played. Yeah, I played a bunch of games I never played, but not a point-and-click. Because I don't know... I don't know how I'll handle being stuck. I get frustrated easily. Don't play the remastered. It's really bad. It's a bad product. Unfortunately. I backed it and everything. Yeah, King Quest 6 is incredibly good. It's my favorite King Quest, and yeah. So I think I can use my this on this. Oh yeah, GK3 is extremely difficult. The last couple of puzzles, really puzzles, but they're rewarding when you find them out. But and it's extremely difficult to get all the points and all the things. Like Gabriel Knight 3 is an incredible game. I don't really like the 3D aspect of it, but it does, because of it, it features some puzzle that you would not find in a 2D game like that, or an FMV game like the second one. And I also like that this game is like the first era of point-and-click adventure games. 2D, like, not the first, because that would be, I guess, not parser, but even text adventure. But then you get text adventure, graphic adventure, then FMV point-and-click games, and then you had the 3D point-and-click games that like lasted 2 years, and then yeah, it's like uncovered. It's literally like uncovering the secret, like in Da Vinci Code. And it even has links with the Da Vinci Code, because I played Gabriel Knight 3 and Deus Ex before reading Da Vinci Code, because I read Da Vinci Code before watching the movie, and it's really not that great of a book, but everybody was talking about it. I was like, what the fuck, so I'm gonna read it, look at it, and it was good. But it talks about like the Illuminatis and stuff like that. So I was already familiar with all that stuff because it's prominently featured in Deus Ex and Gabriel Knight 3. Less Illuminati in Gabriel Knight 3, but the Templars and other stuff. It all connects. Sangreal. So Bloody Sand. I don't think there's anything. I don't think you can tweezer it. The police have already taken samples of the blood, mostly. Oh, it does. I thought his name was No, it's Mosley. I thought it wasn't spelled like that. Old Devs making new adventures. And we had nice little renaissance in recent years. Yes, definitely. Definitely. One of the great point-and-click adventure game I played recently was The Dark Eye of Satinav or something like that, and his sequel Memento. But The Dark Eye of Satinav, I think it's called, is an amazing game. I never really could get over the voice of the main character. I didn't really like it, but the rest is incredible. Incredible. The story, everything. There's a pattern. But if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's been clearly defined. So I think you have to use... oh, okay. I'll have to come back here later. That's fine. Here's on the sands and clay shore of Lake Puno at the site. Some poor old bastard. You have to see who the voodoo murderers really are. The site is now deserted. I can do this though. That's... I never do this order of things. That's nice. Now I can use the tweezers. No? No, not here. I didn't click on the right spot. There you go. There are marks in the grass as though some heavy wire object had been set here. So, this is optional, by the way. I think this one is optional. This one might not be optional. But you can get scales of a couple of snakes in the game.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me. What kind?
It's kind of my first clue that the police did not pick up, I think. Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene. And you can match up that scale with other scales you get, which I think is all optional. You got stuck here. Here, you mean... that was day one end. I could just exit this. So I think I can go to the police station, talk about the voodoo murders to Mosley, but we'll just finish day one. Because if you don't do that, day one is like super big, and then the other...
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
Like, I'm sure I'm gonna essentially play it like Jane Jensen, the woman who made this game. Oh.
Hey, kids.
Bruno. How nice.
Like, recut it for the 20th anniversary edition.
Of yours? Hardly.
How's the flower business?
Well, better than the used book business, I see. Rare books. That explains why I so rarely see anyone in here. Are you going to sell me that wonderful painting of yours today?
Are you ready to drop dead today? Gee, is today the day that hell freezes over? How much would you give me for it?
Are you ready to drop dead today?
Well, really?
That's his father's painting. He's not gonna sell it.
Got a minute?
Because I think you can finish the day here, maybe? I'll just resave here. I do like to finish
Could you do so?
Sure.
The day in the shop.
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out.
Right.
Anything else?
I can't...
Okay. Well...
Yep.
It's about closing time.
Say, you don't have to do
So
the
it
clock
is.
right now.
Good night, Gracie.
I wasn't sure.
Good night, Gabriel.
Maybe in the 20th
and
anniversary
try not to
edition.
dream, okay?
I like that you can quickly wrap up day 1. Day 2 can be a little more stuff in day 2 and day 3. Because if not, like the first time you play this game, day 1 is long. It's a long day. And I think it's intentional that if you check the background, you see that the sun goes down and the day comes in. This. Look at the background, you see the sun coming up. Took me a while to notice, but when you notice it, it's like, oh. A mask I wore as I approached. I was what I am not. And though the pattern was unclear, its meaning could be bought.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Ay, men.
Ouch! Day 2. So of course I'm gonna do exactly what Gabriel would do and just forget about the book and Malia Getty. Now it's all about Malia Getty. I guess we can talk about voodoo and stuff. Malia Getty. Yeah, in case it wasn't really clear, and the first time I played it, I was young and I really didn't know about love and love at first sight and that kind of thing. If that even exists. But like, he really fell for her. He's a completely fucking bonkers Malia Getty, just so you know. I don't think the scene, even though that scene is pretty hot, like with the limo and Doom and the eyes and the thing, I think they didn't really like. I don't know, they could have emphasized it even more. Oh, he should talk about it more. So I'll be taking a little break, and after that we'll have the address. We have the address to visit Malia Getty. So what is funny is she did the research for him, even though clearly she's not interested. And oh, a I don't think I can do here is this.
If you try to look down my shirt one more time, I'm leaving.
Hell, just trying to refresh my memory.
I know what you're trying to refresh, and it isn't your memory. Get down.
It isn't your memory. I know what you're trying to refresh. Okay. So, yeah. Taking a break, coming back in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back.
Got a
messages?
Do you know anything?
I've told you all I know.
What do you know?
I know you shouldn't be messing with it, and I know you will.
What else can you tell me?
You're the native, don't ask.
Do you know anything about
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Mm-hmm. I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay.
Oh, books about snakes.
What can you tell me?
I told you.
Are you sure you don't?
I told...
Tell me.
What else? Suit yourself.
Do you have...
Nope.
No messages. Okay. Well, there's that book. German-English dictionary. Oh, about that. Yeah, Igor talked about like, oh, you could have looked in the dictionary Cabri-Sancourt. No, Cabri-Sancourt is not in the dictionary. If I go in the internet, I type it out, of course.
Mittag means midday, noon. Spiel.
Oh, this is awfully important because there's a book here, I think. Then there's a book. Doesn't care.
Himmel. Dry.
Where's that book? Oh. It's a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
Yeah, and I think this combined with the German translation dictionary.
Besessen means... Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread. Let's see, Mittag. Spiel. Himmel. Dry means 3.
For the 3. So Dry Dragon.
Drei Drachen.
Dry Dragon. That's the name of the poem, and Heinz Ritter will eventually know who he is. So that's the clock puzzle
I'm
that
outta here.
Taco Salad was talking
Try not
about.
to sell out the store while
It's
I'm
not-
gone.
Uh-huh.
It's a hard puzzle, but if you click on every, and I did all that like in day 1. So when I came into the, like in front of the clock, I just was kind of like, there you go. Boop. Now I want to go to Malia Giddy, which is right here. Yes, Malia. The Garden District is famous for its elaborate old plantation homes and mansions. This particular mansion is impeccably groomed.
May I?
Like to see Malia Getty, magazine subscription.
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
Of course, this won't work, so I won't even do it.
I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business. Can somebody tell me what's going on?
Oh.
I've got important business with Miss Getty. Yes, I'm waiting for some evidence of that, sir.
Sir.
I've got...
So yeah, you have to bring evidence.
Just as...
Of course, I know what it is, but what is fun about Malia Getty is you get to talk to her about a lot of stuff. and the more stuff you have like collected in the more stuff you'll be able to talk to her about. So we'll do that. Let's go to the Voodoo Museum. If Mr. John. Yes,
Welcome,
Mr. John.
my friend.
Let's talk voodoo.
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Nye, and I'll probably take you up on that.
Yes, yes. This is Dr. Jones. Dr. Johns. It's not Dr. Jones like in Indiana Jones. I think it's Dr. Johns. And this is Michael Dorn, who plays Worf in Star Trek Next Generation. He has a great voice, and that's great because he's gonna talk to us a lot about voodoo. Fuck it.
Could I ask you some...
That is why I am here.
Let's talk voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
What can you...
We'll finish with the voodoo murders. Talk about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Oh yeah, they don't say New Orleans there. They almost say Nolans. You can almost say Nolans. It's like New Orleans. It's like it's one word. New Orleans.
Just tell me.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you.
Yeah, exactly. I can't live without meat.
Just tell... Actually,
I can identify with that.
Then, let us discuss something else.
Okay, let's talk about historical voodoo.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
He had a sore throat when he did that other line. It was completely different tone. Weird.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
Yeah, it looks like kind of not reshoots, but they re-recorded the lines. Definitely.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Isn't this fascinating? Back then I was like, I just gobbled it up.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Marie Laveau. When I went to New Orleans, Marie Laveau is a thing. It's like it's everywhere.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more.
Like, unless I'm completely misinformed, like everything he says is like completely accurate. They did their research for this game. It's crazy. Well, all of the games, like this is about New Orleans voodoo. Not a thing that we see in any game. And then the second one is a more common theme, but it's like werewolves, but in Germany. And the Germany setting is like pretty nice. And then the third game is in France, I think, and it's the Sangreal thing. Pretty nice. So I think it's done with this.
Tell me more about history.
I've given you as much detail as...
Yeah, let's go with current.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Yeah, because when I played this, my only knowledge of voodoo was voodoo dolls and gree-gree and stuff like that. The hoodoo part. Here, the hoodoo. So when you said voodoo religion, I was like, the voodoo religion? What? That kind of blew my little 12-year-old mind. Let's go with Crit
Tell me more.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gree-gree, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magenta Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks.
Hey, Wally Gaming! Doing great.
Tell me more.
You have tapped my resources. My expertise is really
That's
historical. Perhaps Ms. Moonbeam can be of.
Let's talk about hoodoo before Mary level. He's not gonna talk about who. He doesn't give a crap about hoodoo.
Is there anything else I should know about hoodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
True voodoo.
Is there anything else?
Not if you're...
I love passing by your channel. Thanks.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooians in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However she achieved it.
Because knowledge is power. If you know everything about everyone, they're fucked.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously. Very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
Hey, I admire anyone who can make money.
Tell me more.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of hoodoo.
Tell me more about
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the Widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The Widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the Widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Something that has been done multiple times in history. A daughter or a son that takes the name and takes the personality, takes the place.
Tell me more.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Tell me more about
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
That's not a... We didn't talk about any of these, right?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
So you know nothing about the...
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
So essentially, everybody believes that there's no connection. The voodoo is just... They're just murder for other reason. Is it drugs? Is it... But it doesn't connect. Like we'll talk eventually to Mosley, and even... I think even in the papers it says that it's outsiders that get killed. Like tourists.
So...
I neither. So...
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
It is for having... going there and passing through the entirety of at least the east coast of the United States till we get to New Orleans. The United States is the United States. When you come into New Orleans, it's like a different country, literally. New Orleans is like another country. It's as different to the at least for me, it was as different to the United States as like Mexico or Canada. That's a kind of like a different. It's not Canada, but it's Canada is not that different from the United States, but it's definitely not the United States. But when you go into New Orleans, it feels like that. People talk differently, feels different.
What is it about New...
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight.
Exactly.
Amid the horrid blandness that is Americana, New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true New Orleanian.
New Orleanian. And I'm not putting down any Americans or anything about. I'm just saying that it's different.
Do you have any?
I have already given you my opinion.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Mm-hmm. Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight, but snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I didn't say. I think I did.
There is really...
I think I skipped the...
What can you tell me?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
What else can...
I am afraid I do not know the origins of St. John's Eve. I only know that it was a night of ritual long before voodoo came to New Orleans.
What else can...
I am of...
Do you have any idea?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight. I am sure, Mr. Knight.
Tell me more.
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
By the way, he knows what that means. He just doesn't want to talk about it. Because it's related to the voodoo murders.
Tell me
more.
more.
Right, we talked about everything. Let's check something out, because we talked about snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps... They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate...
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes like the museum...
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
I think I did. Yeah, let's use this now.
What does this do?
Turn that thing off. Sorry. We have air conditioning.
Yeah, I see.
So this starts the fan here and the snakes really doesn't like it. What is this? I don't think there's anything else to do here.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Walk carefully out there, Mr. Knight.
Okay. Movie. I think you can't go for now. I think. Oh, we can. I don't know if I want to go there right now. I might as well. We're doing our voodoo tour.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Too quick for me. Yeah, let's talk voodoo. We talked voodoo with Dr. John.
Actually, Dr. John told
John.
me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Dr. John had a lot of great information. Let's see what you have. Let's look at the place. Looks African. Between the voodoo temple and Victorian fortune teller parlor. A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. A large doggy snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Only Magentia is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares a cage with its original owner. Oh, pick it up. Looks a little sleekly, but Gabriel would still rather not stick his head in the cage. Oh yeah.
Could I ask you if...
Of course, Seeker.
Seeker. I'm the Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
They work, I tell you, they work.
What can you...
Much of a voodoo yen's work is protecting her clients from the spell of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you...
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you do?
I have told you all.
What do you know?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
Oh, very bad. Voodoo murder's bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodoo yen's power. If people don't believe, there is not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur, things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
Well, Dr. John thinks you're a fake.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antenna, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
They're freaking voodoo they're murderers. They're murderers. Of course, beware.
What do you mean?
I work hard on...
Okay, New Orleans.
What can you...
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
Okay.
What can you...
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
Okay.
What can you...
It is my favorite place in the world.
You're not really
What can you
answering the
tell?
question.
It is my favorite...
Do you know anything?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away... Oh,
What's the significance?
St. John's Eve? It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice, sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John, sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
What's the
Special ceremonies are performed, and the lower come to ride the faithful.
What's...
There is no night more powerful to voodoo magic.
What's...
There is no...
Do you have any idea?
No. No, I don't.
Of course, she also does know.
Do you have...
You bunch of...
Do you know anything
liars.
about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you know anything?
She ruled voodoo in New Orleans for 100 years, they say.
Do you know...
I'm sure a historian could help you with that.
Do you... Tell me about the ant...
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They are too... close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I don't know what else to...
Tell me about...
Yes?
How'd you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen, and that is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I am well versed in the magical arts.
Tell me
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me.
Dr. John sends me many.
Tell me.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
Tell me.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans.
I can't.
Very.
About.
What about her?
Where'd you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Ah, fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
Remember, kids, pick up your nail clippings and your hair and your dead skin, because somebody can do voodoo on it.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales? How about showing me how...
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight. No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Gabriel grabs a shade snake skin while Chincha is otherwise occupied. It's like a dead snake.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
Ah, inspiring.
That's certainly one word for it.
So we can go here and do this, I think, or... magnifies the shed skin from Agents of Movie. They don't match the scales. No, okay. They don't. Oh yeah, I don't need it anymore. I can show some stuff.
Could you look at this and tell me if
I should
you
show the
recognize
photos
anything
to more
about it?
people.
That's from those voodoo murders, isn't it? That has nothing to do with me.
Oh, you don't like that. What about this?
Does this mean anything?
I can be of no help to you.
Doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like anything to me. Okay. Oh, we didn't finish with that question. There's a couple of more questions. Grimoire?
What a...
Tell me.
You have to be careful when handling a snake.
Tell me.
Many people are afraid of snakes. Isn't that silly?
Totally. Tell me.
He's
Snakes
not
shed
afraid
their
of snakes.
skins from time to time. You have to be especially careful of them when they're shed.
I'll keep it. Tell me.
Grimwald is very responsive to vibration. She doesn't recognize her name, but if I stomp 3 times, she looks right at me.
Tell me.
You have to be careful when handling a snake.
Tell.
Many people are
Totally. Nothing.
All right.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Don't do that.
Give me an example.
Here's an old hoodoo Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue, and if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
Give me an...
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or a shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
If you want to kill someone, do that.
Give me an example.
To ensure the safety of your child, cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can die.
These
Yeah,
are
that makes
interesting.
perfect
They're
sense.
very old. The Gree-Gree that I prepare is much more powerful, I can assure you, but I don't give out those secrets.
And that's
All right.
Yeah, we're done. Bye-bye.
Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
The only vice is the absence of...
I've heard that. Bye now.
Still thinking about Malia. What can I do? Let's go to the cemetery. I have to go to Mosley also. Yeah, you wanted to talk to me about the voodoo murders. Or I want to talk to you.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do?
Okay.
Do you know?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
Do you know? What can...
I already told...
Are you
You don't...
Do you know anything about
Marie who? Is she the one that hangs out on Conti and Nash?
No. Never mind. Do you know anything about animal masks?
I see plenty of masks during Mardi Gras. Not many animals, though. Of course, there's plenty of animals underneath.
Do you know...
You don't want to...
Do you...
I told...
I'm here to...
He's in his office.
Okay. Now from now on I can just move outside. I can just move here. I think I have to open this. Yeah. Of course I need to flirt with her.
Excuse me,
I'm
officer.
Gabriel.
Yes?
So, what's it like being a policewoman?
The glamour never ceases.
Excuse me.
Yes?
You know, that uniform looks great on you.
Uh-huh. Is that a compliment, or are you asking to borrow my dress?
It's a compliment.
Well, you just never know around here. Thanks, but I'm married.
Excuse...
Yes?
Could you get me some coffee?
Are you speaking to me?
Why, yes.
Wow. Deja leave it to Beaver. I'm the police photographer, sir. You might be able to find someone around here dumb enough to get coffee for you. But guess what?
It won't be me.
Oh, thanks anyway.
She's not bad.
Hey, mostly.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up.
Mostly, yeah. That window is a mirror on the other side. Yeah, when you go on the other side, it's a mirror. I don't think there's anything really interesting here.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the right.
What can you tell me about?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
What can you...
I told you, don't worry about that part of it. It's all fake.
What do you know about...
Lots. Can you be more specific?
You know anything about the killer?
Do you know anything about...
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scenes.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be. But we'd have to have a suspect in custody first, and the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the Voodoo Murders case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. was the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur? Describe the crime scenes.
Well, there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens. Also goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Oh, lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
So they died scared to death. That's just an indication that something's wrong. They all had a heart attack before dying. That's fucking weird.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard of disturbance. It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody sees nothing.
Exactly.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Oh, no.
Sure.
Okay. We were talking about
what do you know?
What?
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
sure.
What can you tell me?
You and me grew up together. You tell me. It's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know. The quarter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but... Hell, I've never known anything else.
What can you tell me?
I'm too sentimental.
Do you know any...
The only thing I know about Snake...
What can you...
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
What?
I don't know.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans cœur means?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough. Do you have...
Hell no.
True enough. Do you know anything about...
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
Then I don't know her.
Then I don't know.
Do you know anything about
It's the only chick I know.
Do you know any...
Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies?
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Never ran across anything like that.
Do you know...
Animal man?
I don't...
Never...
Tell me about you. Sure, why not?
Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working on the police force?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
Remember, this guy is the guy is voiced by Mark Hamill. As surprising as that sounds. In Full Throttle, there's a not the bad guy, but his bodyguard is a really big dude, and he's voiced by Mark Hamill. Surprisingly enough, again. Or it's the bad guy? Oh, I think it's the big dude. Whatever.
What are your plans for the...
Well, you know, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched, but I don't see why I can't be the chief of police of New Orleans someday. I already know the mayor, and my record is one of the best in the department.
I'm sure it's just a matter of moments, mostly.
Yeah, you'll see.
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable. I'm serious.
Excellent.
Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play trumpet, too. You know, put your lips together and blow.
You have great taste, Van Coot.
How's your home life?
Oh, real funny, Knight. Why don't you just bring in some frickin' salt? Well, you know Annie left me. My home life is shit.
Right. Sorry about that.
Just tell me anything at all.
Just tell me anything at all.
He doesn't have the same pitch.
We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something. Then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch her soaps.
Yep. And it was a great way to pick up women in the library. Oh, those were the days. Just tell me.
You know, my doctor told me I've got a little family of ulcers starting. I wish this case would end so I could get some rest for a change.
Just
for the book, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was young. Or a fireman.
Fascinating.
Just tell me anything. My back hurts.
Just tell...
I'm 6'2".
You are not.
Oh, come on. I'm close enough. Just write me up that way.
Oh, God.
Cure.
Just tell...
You know, I kind of like women with dark hair.
Yeah, I know. It's a regular thing with you.
Now that Grace.
You're on your own with that one, pal. I don't even want to know. Just...
Remember how we used to play...
Oh, no. What's the status on...
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
What's the...
Yours filled...
How about getting me...
Coffee? You want...
Should that surprise...
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here, huh?
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right.
Oh yeah, I need to do something before that, but that's fine.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
No, I can't really touch anything. Yeah, I'll try to touch something. Let's pick up some stuff. Can't pick up anything here. Can't even use a computer. Back then I was like, look at the freaking computer! How can you not check the computer?
Here, drink it.
I'm sure it's closed. There's post-its on the computer. Clearly showing that the computer is just there for show. He's not using it. The papers are there. They're on the floor there. That's the voodoo files. Those beefy guys in his youth, now he's getting lumpy. The badge on his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold polyester of the jacket. By the way, we need that badge. That's how you get it too. But for that, we'll have to talk some more.
Can I ask you, you're the right?
Photographs. Let's go with the
Do
pattern.
you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around them. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
Nope, I think we...
Okay, but you shouldn't underestimate the power of beefcake.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Come on, that's gray hair.
So how'd you ever find anything in this office? It looks like ground zero.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No. Are you trying out for a janitorial job with that hair?
Hey, if you want this hair instead of this hair, I'm sorry for you.
Are those new shoes? What are those, hush puppies? Kind of a mud brown suede kind of a thing?
Hey, I'm on my feet all day, all right? Is that okay with you?
Mostly. I'm being perfectly sincere.
Mostly.
Yeah, you and my grandmother. Right.
You know, you have a unique way of wearing clothes that's... Well, the way they hang, kind of pleating over that stomach of yours, drooping off of your butt.
We can't all have the body of a 12-year-old like you, Knight.
Okay, let's go with the
I got those photographs you left for me. A cop?
Yeah.
Why not? Of course.
Well, okay. Now I'll call the police photographer. Franks, come here a minute, would you? Bring your camera.
Come on, take your time.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I...
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
You can check your air, I think, by using this. Or looking.
Looking good, kid.
How would you know this is a mirror?
Looking good.
I think the first time I came in and I could enter this, like I looked at everything, and I think he did that, and I was like, what looking good? Is he? Oh, he's talking about mostly in the... No, it wasn't. So as you saw before, when the first time we came in, there was a repairman here using the... So you remove the like protective thing, I think, because if you come in here and you try to do this before or after, you won't be able to. So if you do something like this, that's pretty much what I have to do right now.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up.
Okay.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
I don't really understand that joke. Level up to what? What is he talking about?
Whew. It's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
It's gonna be eventually remove his coat.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
You're hot.
Can I ask you about...
You're the right...
Some coffee.
How about getting me some coffee? What am... Hey, I'm working my butt off here.
Yeah. Some people are never satisfied.
Okay.
I think I'll just borrow this bag.
Yep.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Spins on himself.
Thanks.
Ghost
Tons. I mean it.
Okay, I'm out of here. Do I have to talk to you though?
Can I ask you...
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so. There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
No photocopies. Partial pattern. Okay, that's how you look at it. Evidence and NDPD. NOPD. New Orleans. Okay.
Don't leave the room with...
Oh, really?
I told you.
Right. So I'm done.
Yeah.
I can just use the door, so why the open close? Gonna take another photograph, dude. We have to. Let's take another one.
I don't think we...
Really? Frank!
Now what? Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything? Hold on a...
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Let me see that file again.
Oh yes, let me see that file. Ooh, let's put it there.
Just want to check this machine here.
I'm just checking the machine. I'm just checking the machine. This is completely normal. This photocopier works. Am I photocopying something? No. No, I just... Yes, as a matter of fact, I did photocopy by hand. So now we have photocopies and everything.
Would you just get in here?
Just get in here. I want to take a photo with her, but I don't think I can now.
Hurry up.
I'll just go.
Okay.
Away.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she wants to. I think that's it.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, there's something else. Bye. I have my badge. I can now see Malia Giddy.
Later, Knight.
And I think that's the end of the day once we do that. So I might go check out my grandmother and do some stuff there. I did have new words to talk to this guy, Mr. John, Dr. John.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could.
It's not Mr., it's Dr. John.
Could I add?
Of course.
He likes our conversation, he says. No, I didn't learn anything.
Do you know any?
I used to have some antique African totem masks, but they were on the point of disintegration, so I removed them.
Are you?
Unfortunately, I do not know much about totem masks. The practice was more African than American, and that is not my area of expertise.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Good.
Ah, but that might take a long time. Yeah, no, I might jump into Malia. I'll jump into Malia. Let's talk to this guy.
Hello?
Oh.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Cousin. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a sleep knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Oh, don't that beat all? Well, you're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too, and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame.
Though it don't hurt to be proactive none neither. Now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
So she's super Catholic, but she's doing some voodoo stuff. It's kind of weird. I don't pretend to know about voodoo much.
Can I ask you just a few more
game,
What
I learned from this game.
do you know anything like the ones in the voodoo rituals? Right. I used to sell a few as souvenirs. The only one left is Willie Jr. over there. The old crocodile. Well, he's sort of a mascot now, him.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Marie, she's somebody from the old days. One of those folk tales. Oh, the tourists eat it up long.
Have you?
I don't know much, monsieur. What? You heard wrong, monsieur.
No, he doesn't want to talk about that.
That customer of yours, the little old lady?
Customer?
The woman I saw in here. Madame Cazonou, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street. I can't tell you anything.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazonou.
I can't tell.
About Willie Jr. Would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
$100? You've got to be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. very close now. We part with him for less.
What's going on with the speed now?
May I? I'd like to see... I'm sorry.
Really?
LAP, no. ODPD, oh.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Giddy.
It's Nolan PD.
Miss Giddy will see you. Right this way.
Okay.
Miss Giddy will be down shortly. Thank you.
You can't look at anything here, it's just...
What can I do for you, Detective?
Oh, yes I can. Army Classic Woman Original, maybe not. I wouldn't be impressed by a signed copy of one of Gabriel's novel.
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
Beautiful.
They are.
Nice, that.
Thank you. It's The Rebellious Slave by Michelangelo.
Undoubtedly proof that there is. I can imagine doing things on that rug.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing.
Excuse
I like
me?
fire.
Yeah, this might be the end of the day.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Giddy?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Flirt with her. There's a couple of things here. If you do, it'll just like stop the conversation. This is one of the things. So we'll start with the voodoo. I think herself eventually she doesn't like it, so I'm gonna do this, take portrait training.
What can you
I'm
tell
gonna
me
try to
about
flirt.
voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
Are you
Quite sure.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders?
And
I'm sure you...
tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Tell me more.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that.
That's why he's here.
Tell me more.
I don't know what else you want to hear, Detective. Anything you might care to know about my public life you can easily look up in the papers.
Tell me. Do you know anything?
I'm afraid I
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What can...
I believe...
Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. What does it mean to...
That's confidential information, ma'am. Do you know anything?
I have heard of her, of course, but that...
Do you know any...
Animal masks?
Can you tell me anything about...
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time. I wish I could.
Tell me about...
I suppose I don't really have a choice.
What kind of thing...
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see.
So I don't think that's a good thing. So you're just about...
I'd like to hear...
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me.
I'd like to hear just about it.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh? Why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please, I do have some morals, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
I'd like to hear...
I have a few friends.
What
A woman in my
gives her
position
age like
can't
that?
really afford them.
Yeah, 20.
I'd like to hear
He
just
knows
about
her
anything.
age, I'm sure. If
I
he's,
try to
if
stay
he's a
away from the
cop,
media
she's
as
not.
much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Kennedy Jr. and I. The phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to keep my private life private. I would appreciate it if you would keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course. I'd like to...
I do a lot of charity work.
Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I wouldn't...
As you wish, Detective.
I guess I could do that, but... Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
Oops.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out.
Give me a chance. He compliments like some sort of vampire.
Robert?
Yeah, he's right now he's a
Show
jerk.
Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will. Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Yeah, eventually he'll be a better person, but for now Gabriel Knight is a jerk. So I think this is day 2. And I think it is not. That means I have to do the grandmother stuff, but I don't think I'll be doing that tonight.
I knew you'd...
The excitement of...
Let's talk to you.
What can you Are you... Do you...
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you just heard everything
Do you know...
I don't.
She said she didn't want to hear about our sex life.
Tell me about it.
What else? So you...
Do you have...
Nope.
Could...
Sure.
Oh, look at Madame Cazanou. You can do that.
I need you to look up a Madame Cazanou.
Madame Cazanou? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Getty, was?
Grace, Cazanou is at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you.
Come on.
Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
I can't.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that might be it. But no, there's more to do here. But we'll do the rest Sunday, I think. Tomorrow will be more... tomorrow will be more Command and Conquer. Continuing Command and Conquer. I should be okay to finish that freaking mission that gave me trouble. And Saturday no streams. Sunday will be continuing Gabriel night. Monday Command and Conquer. Tuesday Gabriel night. Wednesday Command and Conquer. Thursday Gabriel night. That other Thursday might be the end of Gabriel. I don't think this will be more than 3. It looks like it's gonna be 4 sessions. I thought that this would go faster, but talking to everyone and all, it takes a while, and I like to ramble a lot also. So thanks everyone for watching. I stream pretty much every day 8 PM Eastern time except on Saturdays. Sometimes I stream on Saturdays anyways. It's usually a more a side stream, not necessarily one of the games I'm streaming right now. So you can find a schedule.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Panda. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, that's it. Stream pretty much every day except Saturdays, and yeah, the schedule is on Twitch, usually just below the video. You can also follow me on Twitter. We're gonna raid someone. Yeah, we're gonna raid Jen with glasses. She's playing Full Throttle. Hey, take it easy, Dave. Thanks for watching. I didn't know you were into point-and-click games. There we go. Jen with glasses playing some Full Throttle, so it fits. Sometimes I play so eclectic games that it's difficult to find a raid that fits with my find a streamer that fits with my game, but that fits perfectly. Some more Mark Hamill for you. Remember to have fun, guys. See you tomorrow, 8 PM. Bye.